jump right into it. First of all, great comments. Last couple videos. My last video about the stress out and everything, it, it was just one of those things where I just kind of had to get some things off my chest, and that's what I did. And so I appreciate you guys responding and everything. I think that a couple of you are right. I will say, first of all, I was constipated. Going back for a second, basically what had happened was I had weighed in last Sunday, no, or not this last Sunday, like 2 Sundays ago, and I was at like 360. And by the time I did the video on Wednesday, I was 363. So I'm like, okay. Well, by like Friday, I think it was Friday or Saturday, I was like 365. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? And so I was freaking out. I mean, I even called the bariatric center, everything, just to try to figure out what was going on. And basically, couldn't get your up around. They said it was something to be weary of and to maybe really start thinking about counting calories and stuff like that. I knew I'm not at that point. I'm eating so little. I'm maybe getting 600 calories a day. So it's not anything to worry about. So I knew I wasn't there, but they're like, I don't understand it either. Well, Philly Tomcat, old Tom, you helped me out because I was constipated. Going back, starting on the Sunday that I weighed at 360, I had been taking some hydrocodone to help me kind of sleep and manage some pain. I've been having some pain in my shoulder and in my leg and then some headaches. And Tylenol wasn't working for me, so I decided to go with the big boys and take some hydrocodone. Hydrocodone is great, except for one thing. It is like drinking liquid cement for your pooper. Speaking of poopers, I got my pooper right here. Can you say hi, Emma? Say hi. Say hi. Give everybody a smile. You give everybody a smile. Can you smile? Smile. Emma, what's she gonna do? Okay, she doesn't like you guys. So, yeah, basically I was loaded up with poo and couldn't come out. And so, about a day after I posted that video, things started loosening up, and the weight was coming off like 2 pounds a day. And so I got back to where I was by Sunday. I was basically back at 360, which I was like really good. And I've kind of settled in there. And today, my weight loss, I am 359, which is great. That's 111 pounds total. It's 134 away from my goal. So I want to start keeping those numbers active in my mind too, just because that's an important number for me. My weight loss is averaging 5.6 pounds, but that's been from the beginning. And of course, I was losing 10, 12, 13 pounds a week in the beginning. So I don't know. I mean, I still have like 3 more weeks to take off this 10 pounds. And I thought it was going to be really easy. Maybe it won't be. Who knows? Gym's been going good. It's all been going good with working out and stuff like that. Rosemary, thank you so much about your comment about proteins. Truth of the matter is, I've been meaning to talk about this in the last couple of videos. I keep forgetting, but I'm struggling with my proteins. Not struggling in the sense of, like, there's some people that struggle because they just don't like the protein drinks, or they just don't pay attention or whatever. I'm trying, but I'm just not getting it. And so I'm reaching about 90 grams a day. However, my blood test results came back, and I think the range is like 14 to like 18, maybe. Like, they want you in this range of whatever, however they mark that. And mine was like 13, or no, it was like 12 and a half. And so I wasn't even hitting the minimal range. And so I was like, oh man. So I said, "What's going on?" I'm reaching my proteins, and they're like, "You're just not absorbing the proteins," and they're like, "You probably need to uptake almost 20 more grams of protein." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's like 110 grams of protein." And so that's where my issues come. Is I've been really like, because I don't want to drink my protein. I'd like to eat my protein, but it just came to the point where I said, I got to be honest with you. If I do this, I'm going to have to drink my proteins. I'll still eat the same and everything, but I'm not going to eat more food and get into a habit of snacking and stuff like that right now. And so I'll drink my proteins. And they said that's fine. They said in the beginning stages, we're totally fine with you drinking your proteins. Just not as if you drink half of your proteins, half from food, that's good with us. So I said, okay, fine, I can do that. And so went out and got some more protein powder, and instead of just having my evening chocolate protein shake with some milk, I'm having a nectar cappuccino, one usually during the day. Sometimes I have it in the evenings. I like it. It's okay. I've been using Isopure from the beginning. I like the extra nutrients that Isopure has. Isopure is a really good, just all around health shake, not just a protein shake. Um, the nectar doesn't have all of that in it, but here's what I will say. I would endorse nectar only because one of the biggest things is how it dissolves, and I always have chunks with my Isopure nectar. I don't have chunks or anything like that, so that's a win for me. Um, it's very sweet, and I don't like sweet stuff. Isopure, I actually have to add a little, like a packet of Splenda with it. So I don't know. I don't know. It's just one of those things, I guess, right? One of the hardest things about getting the proteins in has been um, getting around kind of the myths of protein. And I was so glad. NutritionDiscounters.com. They sell pretty good prices on everything. But it's a company located in Villa Park, which is about 3 towns away in the suburbs. I took a trip there to buy my powder just because I wanted to save a little bit of money and just going to Vitamin Shop or something like that because I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. So I'm like, I'm not going to spend $7 more for something when I'll just take the 15-20 minute trip, which because of traffic it ended up taking me 45 minutes. But their bodybuild. It's a bodybuilding place. Everything in the place is for pump and iron and everything else. It's not so much Vitamin Shop. I feel is nutrition, some bodybuilding, but just it has like a mixture. But Nutrition Discounters is we're all about the bodybuilding. So when I went in there, I really thought that's the attitude I was going to get, and I actually ended up buying one of these. I don't know if you've tried them, the Isopure 40-gram protein. I think this one was pineapple, orange, banana. It wasn't terrible. I don't know. I was talking to the guy about it, and he says, "Well, it's got 40 grams of protein." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah." And I was just like, "I'm not going to say anything." Because here's the thing. Bodybuilding websites, magazines, companies, not all, but a lot, like to say that you can absorb up to 100 grams of protein in one sitting. Um, Medical science does not support that. There are some surgeons. I've heard that some surgeons say, "Oh no, you can do it. You can do it." I went ahead and just did my own research and asked some people where I could be pointed toward. And I read some of the bodybuilding research and I read some of the medical research. And there was a really good one out of University of Chicago that did a really good research, and the way that they did it and put it together, it was very good. And basically, what they were able to find was that the average person can only absorb, they say, between 23 to 26 grams in one sitting. However, they don't have a problem with someone shooting for 30, because occasionally they would find a test subject that they could show that they believe that he was absorbing up to 29 to 30. And these were extreme bodybuilders and stuff like that. So they don't have a problem with saying shoot for 30 in one sitting. But what I was talking to this guy, and this guy was a bodybuilder, and he's actually runs the company. And he said, drink half of this thing and then leave it for an hour or two, and then, you know, get it out of the fridge and drink the other half. He's like, don't drink it in one sitting. I said, oh, really? Why is that? And he's like, you're not going to get that much out of it. So he's like, just get 20 grams of protein, come back later and get another 20 grams of protein. And I'm like, you're the first bodybuilder I've ever heard say that. And he's like, you know what? It's a myth. He's like, all of the out there is just, it's supplements. And anything with supplements, they're not regulated. And so you can say anything you want to, as long as you don't, if you make some real erroneous, huge, crazy finding and saying, you know, this will increase your muscle size by 30% within a week or whatever, then you have to put a little disclaimer on it. But shakes don't make those promises. They say we have 50 grams of protein in it, but it doesn't say and you'll absorb it all. And so they don't have to put anything on it, and they're not regulated. And so he's like, because of that, he says some bodybuilding companies, which I've seen the same kind of stuff that he was talking about, do research and stuff like that. But he's like, their research, it looks scientific, but it's not scientific. And so he's like, I'm not sold on it. He's like, I've seen the medical research, and he saw stuff that I hadn't even seen. And he's like, the medical research points it toward it. So he's like, for me personally, he's like, I never go above 22 grams of protein in one sitting. I'm like, wow, okay. And this is hard because I actually once said this on this weight loss surgery site, and I was like bombarded with attacks about how wrong I was. And the thing was that these people were just looking at supplemental information, and they're like, I've never seen research that's good. And I actually decided, you know what? I'm not going to give you the research. Like, I could say, here's the research, here, go read this and that. I decided, you know, I'm not going to. You know why? Because that's not my job. That's not my job. Everybody should do their own research and everything else. And if there's some of you guys out there that are drinking 250-gram shakes a day to help get, oh, I just want to make sure I got my proteins, and your test results are coming back great and everything, that's fine. But, you know, with like Isopure calls for 2 scoops of powder to get 50 grams. Well, if you make it, let's say you have chocolate and you make it with milk. Well, milk's got 8 grams for a cup of protein. And so you cut that in half, you got 25 plus 8. So now you've got 33 grams of protein, which is probably more than you're going to be able to absorb by scientific results or studies. And hey, keep it calm down there. I'm trying to talk here. Sorry about that. So anyway, so if you do one shake, or if you do 1 scoop in your shake, you're going to extend your shake mix that much longer. And so why fight it and take the chance? And so I'm just going to do 2 shakes a day, and they're going to be about 30 grams each, or a little bit over 30. The nectar is only 1 scoop. It only calls for 1 scoop, but it says it only gives you 23 grams of protein. And so, hey, there you go. I don't know. So it's just, that's the research out there, and people take it so personally. They get so defensive about it. It's like, this was what works for me, and all right. And it was like, oh, here we go with the defensiveness again. I got some new panties today. Yeah, I got some new underwear today. The reason why I'm sharing this is beyond me, but I'm just going to tell you. I was in 4X undies for a really long time. And I ended up moving up to 6X undies. So the 6X undies were basically my standard. At the time of surgery, that's what I was wearing, and the fly was coming apart on them. They were getting so snug on me. I had some 4Xs still left over from the old days, and I went from the 6X to the point where it's like I pulled them up, they fell down. I'm like, okay, well, I can't wear those. I just moved into 4Xs. They were kind of snug on me. I probably was a 5X at that time, but went down, and now the 4Xs are like fall off me. So I bypassed 3X and went to 2X, which is great. So I don't know where I was. Kids were crying, coming upstairs, all that. Basically, 2Xs, it makes me feel so good because one, they're regular. I did order them from a Big and Tall store only because the Big and Tall store that I do catalog order for them gave me a $15 coupon. And I'm like, well, snot, it's like a free, a couple pairs of underwear there. So I went ahead and just used theirs, and I actually switched. I went from boxers to boxer briefs. Okay, so that's so much information I could shoot myself in the head. In fact, I probably just lost 20 subscribers right there. I just want to end. I want to say this. CS Percussion, from you guys that watch this for CS Percussion stuff. CS Percussion is a year old, and I have 15,000 views. My videos have been seen literally all over the world, and we've got a website. It's been huge. It's been a great blessing. I'm still getting tons of comments. I'm still getting subscribers like every other day. So you know what? I'm trying to talk here. All right, can't you see this is a big moment for me? Hang on. She's like her sister. She just wants to be with Daddy. Did you just want to be with your daddy? Huh? Emma? Did you just want to be with Daddy? All right, guys. Well, love you guys, and I'll see you next week. Sorry about the Tuesday videos. I just don't have the stinking time, to be honest with you. So this one's becoming a handful. Aren't you, Emma? Are you becoming a handful? So the other ones, she's always a turd. So anyways, with the snow, everything going on, it's just been crazy. We're about to buy a new car, so I'm researching my face off there. And yeah, so anyways, love you guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye.
Emma, do you see your daddy? You see your daddy, huh? You see that? Hi, baby. Hi. Hi, will you give me a smile? Yeah, there's my big smiles. There's my giggles. There's my giggles.
One last thing, I realized I've never really given you guys a body shot, so here's my hot, sexy body. Give you a little side shot there. So, pretty good. I'm in the 54s. If you remember, with these, these used to be skin tight on me like a month ago. So they're pretty loose now. Waist-wise, it's fine. This shirt is, I don't know what this shirt is, to be honest with you. But I haven't worn it in a long time. So I bought this when I used to work at a bar in college. And I've not been able to wear it since. So it's probably around a 3X, 2X, something like that. So yeah, there we go. Now you guys can say that you see my body. I feel like you've only seen me from here up. So anyways, all right, guys.